channel. The Sports Spotlight coming to you, as always, on Sunday mornings, right here on Radio Azad, where your voice matters. I'm your host, Rizwan, and India, West Indies, that do or die, win or go home game is proving to be everything that we expected. Again, West Indies batted first, put up 195 at a loss of 4, and India has come in and really putting the pedal to the metal now. 17 runs in the 13th over, and started off the first delivery from Chase of the 14th over with a 4 by Samson, and India sitting at 125 at a loss of 3, trying to chase that target of 196, and it's looking well within reach now. How did we get here? How indeed. Let's start on the, and you know, how much time do we have? The answer to how deeply we want to get into a topic is always another question. How much time do we have? So West Indies batted first. Shai Hope, the captain, came in as an opener and really, I felt, really hurt his team. Rawson Chase was opposite him, and he ended up scoring 40 off of 25 deliveries faced with 5 fours and a 6, 160 strike rate. But Shai Hope was just plodding. 33 deliveries faced, 32 runs scored. A strike rate under 100 in T20 from your opener is never going to do, especially one who eats up 33 deliveries. That's not good. So on the penultimate delivery of the 9th over, when Shai Hope fell, that left West Indies at 68 at a loss of 1. And that start may have hurt them. And I understand counterpoint, right? If he had played with reckless abandon and had gotten out, maybe they would never even have that platform to accelerate in the second half of their innings and get to 195. But man, oh man, your opener cannot eat up 33 deliveries and play until almost the end of the 9th over and have a strike rate of 100, under 100 in T20. It just can't happen. But it happened. Now, Rawson Chase, I already talked about. Shimron Hetmeyer came in, looked like he was going to do stuff, but then Bumrah happened. Hetmeyer had 27 off of just 12 deliveries, strike rate of 225, with 1 4 and 2 6s, but 27 is all he got. Shafane Rutherford came in, scored 14 off of 9 with a big 6, but he was gone. And then came Rovman Powell and Jason Holder, who carried them to that 195. Carried them. Because when Shafane Rutherford fell on the first delivery of the 15th over, West Indies were 119 for 4. 119 for 4, and from there, in the last 6 overs, Powell and Holder took them to 195, and that proved to be, may prove to be the difference maker. That proved to be what actually made this from an easy gimme chase for India to somewhat of a challenging case. But here we are sitting at, India has now flipped the script in the last 3 overs and has gone from, this match has gone from a slight advantage to West Indies to being a little more decisive. I'm not saying a commanding, but a more decisive, a 2-1 advantage for India. India's win probability right now is sitting at 66%. And Tilak Verma just hit a big six to close out the 14th over. Samson started it with a four, and then they rotated the strikes a little bit, and then Tilak Verma finishes with a six, which is what propelled their win probability to 66. That big six. India sitting at 136 for a loss of three. All right, back to where we were. How did things start for India as they started the chase? Let's get into that, and then we do have to talk about the match yesterday. So India started things off promisingly enough. Abhishek Sharma, we'll talk about Abhishek Sharma in a second. And Sanju Samson opened, and Sanju Samson just came in with intent. Right at this point, Sanju Samson is still batting. Other wickets have fallen, but Sanju's still there. 69 off of 39 deliveries with 8 fours and 3 6, strike rate of 176. And really, he's been the bright spot, except for Tilak Verma in the last 2 overs with those 3 fours and this 6 that has propelled him to 23 off of 12 deliveries. India still has Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube, Akshar Patel, and even Arshdeep Singh, who can bat a little bit. So India batting lineup, I mean, they bat deep, and they've got all the firepower, even having lost the top 3 wickets, 3 of the top 4 wickets, because Sanju, the opener, is still out there. Is India going to be able to complete it? Look, it's 6 overs left. There's always twists and turns, but the match looks decisively in India's control right now. And as I said, this is a win and go home. So even though it's not technically a semifinal game, it is an absolute elimination game. A Super 8 or not, it's an elimination game. If West Indies win, net run rate does not come into play. If West Indies wins, they move on to face England. If India wins, I believe I think the matchup is set because after yesterday, let's get into that. After yesterday, when Pakistan failed to win, yes, they won the match, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to win the match by 64 plus runs against Sri Lanka. If that had happened, Pakistan would have leapfrogged South Africa to get into the semis. In New Zealand, South Africa is locked in. But instead, the bowling failed Pakistan. The bowling just absolutely failed Pakistan yesterday. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I can't believe that's how things shook out. But man, oh man. So look, the batting also failed Pakistan, right? So Pakistan, Sri Lanka, that match started yesterday. Pakistan needed to win by at least 64 runs, or Pakistan needed to chase down whatever target Sri Lanka left them if they batted first, chase it down in 13.1 deliveries. It was a simple equation. Like everything was in front of you. You knew what you needed to do to go to the semifinals. And Pakistan decided that they did not want to leave any bullets in the chamber. They brought in all the guns from a bowling. Pakistan's strength is bowling, and they decided to bring in everybody. Naseem was in, Abrar was in, right? Both of whom had so frustrating as a fan. So they brought them in. And I said, okay, you know, if they have to bat first, they have to play with intent. They have to put up a 220, 230 target, and then this firepower, this type of a bowling attack, they can contain Sri Lanka. No matter how, Sri Lanka has a pretty formidable batting lineup, but I knew that this bowling attack could contain them if we had a target of 220, 230 and win by 64 plus. On the flip side, like, look, if you win the toss, elect to bowl first, Pakistan, right? Elect to bowl first so that you know exactly what you have to do. You know exactly what you have to score. Well, as it turned out, West Indies wins the toss and they elected to field first. They elected to bowl first. And I was like, okay, so easy. Got to put up that 220, 230, 240. Pakistan started off looking like it. Man, Saibzada Farhan and Fakhr Zaman, and so they made some changes. They brought in Fakhr Zaman, right decision. Probably should have been in there against England. They brought in Abrar on the attack. Probably should have been in on the attack. Actually, I take it back. Fakhr Zaman they brought him in for the England game, and he had a decent, not a great game. Yeah, I forgot about that. But Abrar should have been against England. I think Naseem should have been in against England. But whatever. They brought in Fakhr Zaman for Saim Ayub. Saim has been pretty decent with the ball. Has not been what he needs to be at the top of the lineup with the bat. So I'm okay with that. Then they brought in Khwaja Nafe for Babar Azam. Once again. I think, so look, I said it when the decision happened. I was like, this is bad. They needed to have Babar Azam in this match. Then I started to hear, and this is what frustrates me, and I'm probably going to get into it a little bit with Shep when he dials in, because most of the cricket consuming audience, and frankly, most of the sport analyzing folks, not just cricket, all sports, there's so much about incidental success and trying to use that to justify the decisions. I said it at the time, taking Babar out was a bad idea. And then Pakistan gets off to this hot start, right? The openers they set a record. Saibzada Farhan and Fakhr Zaman had the highest opening partnership in the history of the T20 World Cup at 176. They were at 176 for none. 176 for none in the 16th over. To 199 for 5 in the 19th over. On the first delivery of the 20th, Saibzada Farhan finally fell, and they were 203 for 6. And I mean, that stretch was just bad. You needed somebody from that. It's not even the middle order, right? I mean, your openers took you 80% of the way there. Khwaja Nafe, 2 runs, 3 balls, gone. Shadab Khan, 7 runs off of 5 deliveries, gone. Mohammad Nawaz, golden duck, gone. Salman Agha, the captain himself, 0 off of 2 deliveries faced. That ain't gonna cut it, man. That ain't gonna cut it. But as the openers got off to that start, I started to get text messages and folks saying, "You see, you were wrong. See, you were wrong. We didn't need Babar. Yeah, we could have used Babar instead of Khwaja Nafe coming in when Fakhr Zaman fell at 176. Khwaja Nafe, 3 deliveries, 2 runs, and in the end, Pakistan not getting to that 230, 240 that looked like a sure thing. Looked like a sure thing when your openers were batting in the 13th, in the 14th over. But still, 212 left you some hope. Left you some hope. And I, frankly, was one of those. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. This bowling can sustain this. You know, is it a gimme? No. Is it doable to have a target of 148? To hold them under 148? Like, yeah. I think they can do it. I think they can do it. They've got Usman Tariq. They've got Abrar Ahmed. They've got Naseem Shah. They've got Shaheen Shah Afridi. They've got Shadab. They've got Mohammad Nawaz. They've got Salman Agha himself who can step in. All that bowling. And then Naseem gets Nisanka right off the bat. Shaheen opens. Naseem comes in for the second over and gets Nisanka on the third delivery of the second over. Kamil Mishra falls on the first delivery of the fifth over, and at that point, Sri Lanka was 33 runs for a loss of 2 wickets. And I was like, yeah, they've given up some boundaries, but man, oh man. And by they, I mean Shaheen Shah Afridi. But I was like, this is doable. And then the bowling just absolutely fell apart. Even though they were getting... Now, Abrar, yeah, that's why I say we should have had him. And again, I'm not saying this now. I said this before. I don't know why Abrar was held out, but should have been in there. Should have been in there against England. Abrar, 4 overs, 23 runs, 3 wickets, 5.75 economy. Usman Tariq had a really bad over, but didn't really have a dominating over at all. He ended up with 4 overs, 43 runs, 10.75 economy, and 0 wickets. Shadab, 2 overs, 33 runs, 16.5 economy. Just abysmal. And Shaheen Shah Afridi, 448, 1 wicket, but 12 economy ain't gonna cut it, man. And that's what resulted in Pakistan being done and out. And here we are. India has just about done this. We're at the end of the 16th over. End of the 16th. India needs, they just scored 14 off of the 16th over to reduce the equation to needing 36 from 24 deliveries. 4 full overs left. India just needs 36. And at this point, it's, I won't say it's a foregone conclusion, but it looks like India's going to win. India's going to advance. 4 overs, 36 runs. Yeah. This batting lineup. with Pandya and an informed Sanju Samson, yeah, I think it's going to happen. And of course, Shepard starts with a free run. So unless West Indies can get a wicket or two and quickly, India is moving on to the semifinals, and West Indies a valiant effort, but they'll be going home. Oh, and a drop of Hardik Pandya. All right. Well, we'll keep you posted. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight on Radio Azad with your host Rizwan, and we've got a few more words from our wonderful sponsors, and we'll be back after that. And as I said, Shep's going to be joining me after that, and we're going to swivel the spotlight over to other things, but we'll keep you posted on this match, which is probably going to come to a conclusion in the next 15 to 20 minutes. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight on Radio Azad.
This is Radio Azad, where your voice